All right, welcome everyone to Here for the Horses. Glad you're here for the horses. We are going to go over a couple things today. One of them is going to be my plan of action after riding my horse and finding that she wasn't moving properly, and then the outcome of that. So you will need today a piece of paper, a pen, and um, that's all, because we're going to talk about it. Okay? So grab a piece of paper and a pen. I want you guys to take notes. I want you to write down things that you notice, write down things that you're thinking about, write down any questions, and then we will discuss it. And I might even pause it a little bit as we go through because it was really interesting to me what happened. So we'll do that. Let's watch a cute little video real quick, just in case anybody else wants a moment to come into our meeting, and then we will get started. I don't remember which one this one is, but it looks like a horse video, so I'm sure it's, oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, the donkey. High centered. Yeah, look at the back on that thing though. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Look at the little booty on it. Little booty. Donkeys are funny because when they start packing that weight on, look how small the chest is and the big old belly. Looks like he's built like Chester. Look at that back though. My gosh. He got high centered. Nothing he could do about it. So cute. I love donkeys. Okay. So let's get started today. First, I'm going to tell you what I felt when I was riding. Okay. So I was riding Georgia, and to the left, she was doing really well. Like soft, smooth, supple, a nice, my trainer calls it, you want a nice croissant. Okay, so you want a nice croissant or a nice banana shape, right? When you're going in a circle. And I was happy about that. And then I went to the right and she could not do it. So there were multiple things that I was feeling. One of them was that her right shoulder was like down in the ground. Okay, so they call that they drop the right shoulder. It's funny. I was listening to some other trainer, and that phrase bugs them because they're like they're not dropping the shoulder, and then he started talking about what they're actually doing. But we all know it as they're dropping their shoulder. Okay, we've all kind of heard that phrase. So she was dropping her right shoulder. Her neck, instead of being, curved in that direction with a nice shape, it was like her head and neck went this way, and then her nose slightly went that way. So she was kind of this jazz. All right. And then when I try to pick up her shoulder and ask her to bend around my leg, she was just like, nah, can't do it. So then, I mean, I tried to work her to get her to loosen up to do that a bit, and it wasn't working. So I go, okay, this is body work issue stuff. So I hopped off and I went to see if she could do lateral flexion to the right? Because that would be a logical step. If she can't flex to the right, if she's this way, then she needs to be brought this way. So I thought I'll do lateral flexion to the right and see what I get. And she was stuck. She was stuck. Okay. So I want to show you what I did after that. Ooh, I think I have it pulled up. I have it pulled up enough. Yeah. Hold on. So I videotaped it and I was shocked at what I found that it actually was. So in your brain, as you're doing stuff, you kind of think to yourself, um, you know, I have an idea of what this is. And then you try to narrow it down and try to do the work. And that's why I always have you guys check your work afterwards. Okay. I always want you to do one thing, check your work. Do one thing, check your work. And that's why you can narrow it down to what it is. Okay. So let's watch this. This is an 11-minute video. I might pause it or I might just play through it. I'm not sure. We'll see how we feel. If you have any questions, feel free to pause me or raise your hand. I don't know if I can see if, yeah, I should be able to see if you raise your hand. All right, so here we go. Hey guys, how you doing? Couple things. I'm gonna have two videos for you. This one is going to be of me working on Georgia's jaw. I noticed that when she was trying to yawn, it's not a normal yawn, it's a very one-sided yawn. Hold on. And it's not a full yawn, and you guys know what I say about full yawns. The uglier the better. Okay, I forgot to tell you, her jaw was stuck too. Okay. And it wasn't ugly. It wasn't ugly enough. So one side of her jaw is stuck. I'm not exactly sure what side. So let's find out, shall we? I just got done doing her feet, so I am sweating. Okay, question for you. And you guys can unmute and just, or you can put it in the chat if you want to. If your horse's jaw is stuck, what would be the idea of, okay, I'm going to check this, this, and this? What would you be checking if your horse's jaw? And when I say the horse's jaw is stuck, the way I normally check it is when they go to yawn, what does the yawn look like? Now, Georgia's was like, okay, and she wasn't, they do this. She wasn't doing that. It was only on one side. And she was not opening all the way. Okay, so I want them to be able to open all the way. I want them to have a big, ugly yawn, and their jaw should go in both directions. Okay, so when they yawn, it's like, and their teeth go, they see the teeth, their head goes up, their eyes roll back. It's slow. It looks relaxing. So a healthy yawn is not like, right? You don't want to see tension in the yawn. It should feel good. Like when you see the yawn, you should be like, oh, that was a good one, right? So, what would be like some of the steps? What would be some of the places you guys would look for if your horse's look at if your horse's jaw was stuck? Yeah, Leanne. Yep. Anybody else that's not looking at the chat? Yeah. The whole head. Yeah.
Pull.
That's going to be important today. Actually, you'll see. So Leanne said massage the jaw. So like the masseter area, TMJ, hyoid, and then the jaw release. Okay. So that's Leanne's been with me a while, shall we say? We, we go way back. She could finish my sentences at this point. Okay. So she knows what I'm going to do because I've said it. That would be about what I would do. And I don't specifically have an order, to be honest with you, but that's kind of, if I had to pick an order, that would be it. And you can play around with order on stuff, but I always try to loosen the muscles first and then get them to go through a range of motion, but not always. Okay. So good. Thank you. Good job. Yeah. And then the whole head. What else? You'll see. See, I get ahead of myself and then I start talking too much. All right, here we go. Sweating. I don't know if people do that for a job. Okay, so one side of her jaw is stuck. You're not getting any more treats. So let's find out what I can do. Let's take a look here at the TMJ. I'll just put my fingers on it. Oh, this side of the jaw looks tighter. She's not relaxed. She's pushing her nose into my hand. Let's see. She's fighting that. Okay. One thing about having the halter like this, not a super big fan, because a lot of times when they release, they put their head down and throw their leg out, and they'll rub their face on it. And if you have a halter like this, they can step on it. And where there's a will, there's a way. And horses have the weirdest wills sometimes. They like to hurt themselves on themselves half the time. But if you provide them with something, she's resisting me. Her nose is pressing against my hand, so that tells me she's not relaxed. So I'm going to hang out here and see what she chooses to do. She should not be pushing against me right now. Still pushing against me. I'm going to show you that she is I'm going to take my hand off her nose, and her nose and her head are going to fall that way. That's how much she's pulling against me. And then I go to ask her to come back over here, and she's still pulling against me. So it might actually be, oh, it's right up there, just cracked. Might actually be up here. The next thing I'm going to do is show you guys her neck is stuck too. Her neck and her right shoulder and her right rib cage. So I just got done riding her. Is that a little better? And she could not flex to the right. So just like when you're riding, if they're like laying on your leg, right? They're not balanced, right? They're not relaxed. They're not doing self-carriage. And she loves to use me to balance off of. She loves, and it took me so long to figure it out because I was so used to kind of holding her up. That she goes, yeah, who, me? Yeah, that they do the same thing in massage. So like you guys saw when I let go of her nose, she felt, right? It's the same thing. The same thing. So let's see what she does now. She's doing it again. I'll show you because I'm going to let go of the nose. See? That's a fair amount. Okay, so let's take a moment and think about that for a second. All I'm doing is putting pressure on her TMJ. Well, ours is down here, but hers is up here. And she is, like I have my other hand on her nose, she is pulling against me. Okay? So what would that be? What would you guys think that would be? What does that make you think of? Like, why is she doing that? Because I had to stop and go like, why is she doing that?
I had a couple thoughts. One, I know I'm just using my own experience, but Adobe a lot of times has what I call a headache, like it's more up here and he's actually in pain. And if you did the TMJ, he would feel the pain, but it's really here where he's experiencing the tension. And that's just a residual or nearby pain.
Almost an annoyance.
Yeah. Yeah. So he'd be trying to just get away from that because it's hurting. And then if I could get up here, then that's where he's going to really be feeling the tension. So from my experience, maybe she's actually having tension somewhere else nearby and it's just an irritant.
Excellent. Anybody else? It's kind of weird to have a horse, if you're holding their nose and you're just, yeah, and I was just holding it so that I could like kind of keep her there. And I just had my fingers touching an area of her head and she's literally trying to pull away from me. I mean, and was trying to pull away from me. Okay. So think about that a little bit. All right. See what she's wanting to do here. Sometimes you just got to see what they want. You see that eye flicker? You want me to work on that neck first? I feel like she's telling me to do the neck. She's like, don't worry about the jaw. It's actually, see, she's doing it again. I feel like it's a lot of cracking. Oh, that was weird. There was a lot of cracking going on here. It sounded like fascia. Georgia, honestly, she'll do that when I ride too. It's really annoying. Super annoying. And then when she doesn't feel good, when she knows there's something wrong, she really doesn't like people in her face area. So I don't know if you can tell that she keeps like whatever direction I'm on, she's like, just don't touch me. That's very typical of her. So that's kind of what Leanne was just saying. Um, when Georgia has tension in somewhere, she doesn't want me around her face. She just really doesn't. Okay. And that's very, very typical of horses. That's why I say head shy is tension. Head shy is tension. And it can be 15 years ago something happened. And they just carry it with them because nobody's paid attention enough to get it out, or nobody knows where it's at. Because what do people always say about if they're head shy? Oh, it's their pole. We all know at this point in time, it isn't always their pole, right? You have to find it. It's not always the pole. Okay. What you got, Stephanie?
So when you're doing the lateral flexion, because I've noticed this with Magnum, is she leading more with her nose? She's not really turning. Does it appear like that when she's turning?
Yes, that'll be a little bit further in the video, actually. I'm gonna address it in the video, so I'll let you hear it then.
Because
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
But does anyone think based off her reaction that the tension was in her neck? Nope. Did you get a release? Nope. Okay. So when you're doing your checklist, okay, we looked at the TMJ. One, she didn't blink with the TMJ, right? You put your finger on their TMJ, and if they have tension there, they blink. They might blink slow, they might blink fast, they might take their head away, they might shake. They have reactions and I held that for long enough to know whether or not there was tension there, right? If you do this and you don't see anything, that doesn't tell you much. You have to like hang out, especially if you have a stoic horse or a very tough horse. Um, so it wasn't the TMJ, right? I asked her to loosen, it just seemed like there was something in the neck going on. So I was kind of working that neck a little bit. No release. It's not the neck. Okay. So I'm going to keep going here. Put my fingers on the TMJ again. She's not showing that there's a ton of tension there, because there would generally be a lot of blinks. But I know that her jaw is stuck on one particular side. So I gotta figure it out. Oh, now she's leaning that way. That's interesting. I'm gonna incorporate a little circle here. I don't normally do that. I might go below the TMJ. Start looking around a little bit, so I gotta try to figure out. This isn't really getting me anywhere. Behind the throat latch right here is really tight. Super tight. If you relax your head, red mare, if you relax your head, that's gonna loosen up. If you don't, it's gonna stay tight. Okay, good choice, good choice. Keep going. Choice is yours. Okay, interesting choice. That's one way of avoiding it. She's a smart mare. She's a smart cookie. Let's see if she. Oh, no way. Did we just get it? No way. That would be really weird because I don't feel like I was in the right spot. You never know. Oh my gosh, we got it. Well, I don't even know what to say about that. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Don't listen, don't leave. Look at her. She's like, and I'm done with you. Pretty girl. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. This is why you just gotta look around sometimes. I'm shocked that that did it. I wish I would have a video of her being. Yeah, come back around. I'm not actually done with you. You got more. Thank you. I'm shocked. I'm shook. George, I have a really hard time believing that that was me, but whatever. I'll take. Okay, here's a bonus. Anybody know what muscles are right there? You can unmute if you know.
Does the
Leanne's looking through her paperwork.
brachiocephalicus is in there, right?
Okay. Brachiocephalicus. I had to look that up and we're going to talk about it because I originally in this video said, I go, it's this and this. I guess it could also be this. And then I was like, no, it's not because the brachiocephalicus attaches at the wing of the atlas, which is behind. So that would not be affected by, but then I had to look it up. So we'll talk about that. Anybody else?
Hyoid.
What was that?
The hyoid goes all the way down the neck, so.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. We're going to talk about the muscles. We are going to talk about the muscles.
Would it be the omohyoid?
Sorry, one more time?
Would it be the omohyoid? Because
Yeah.
isn't that
Yep,
going? Okay.
totally. Okay. All right, let's keep watching here. That kind of makes sense. That didn't, so this, I can't explain it. This spot right here was making it so she couldn't, okay, so omohyoideus and sternohyoideus pass right there as they go down. That's attached down here. Oh, that's tight. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Hyoid. So is her jaw. So her jaw was kind of clamped the other day. There. No, that's a lot better. I don't know. That was a weird spot. I don't even want to really take credit for that. So I don't normally have my finger this low in her mouth, but she has been resisting this move lately, so I have to change it up. I'm also pulling her lips up, which I don't normally do. Whatever. Whatever. Sometimes you just gotta be weird. Okay. Y'all can see that kind of still looks stiff, right? The way she's. Yeah, that's better than last time. Yeah, that's a full job. Oh, I don't know why that did it, honey. That didn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm gonna come on the other side though. Put my check over here now. Yeah. So that's her left side, like throat latch area. Left side. Left side feels loose. So it was the left side upper throat latch. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna look up some muscle charts. I'm pretty sure that's the omohyoideus and sternohyoideus that go down there. Maybe a little bit of a brachio. No, it wouldn't be the brachio because the brachio should not influence the jaw. But the omohyoideus and sternohyoideus would. Okay. And then that's all stiff. This is much better than it was. Okay. So sometimes you gotta be a little weird. There we go. Okay. Let's see what that does. See if she yawns. Hey, Brad. Here we go. Yeah, it's full. Okay, I don't get it. Weird. There you go. Be weird. That's your takeaway. Okay, so let's talk about muscles because I did have to go back and look at muscles. Let's see. I got something cool here. Okay, so my original idea was it was the omohyoideus and sternohyoideus. Okay, so let's take a look here. What do I have? I pulled up a photo somewhere. Let me find it. Downloads. Nope. Oh, here we go. Okay, this one. We'll make this big. Need to get you guys back. Share. Okay, so look at this. We have the omohyoideus here. The omohyoid muscle, also known as the omohyoideus. Now, I generally say this attaches to the hyoid, which is this apparatus right here, goes down the neck, and then it attaches to the foreleg. I need to start saying that it attaches to the scapula. It actually attaches to the scapular fascia. Okay. Yeah, Jennifer?
Oh, so can you remind me when you were riding Georgia, she was dropping which shoulder, the left or the right?
Right shoulder. And her
Okay.
head was going to the left.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so this is your omohyoideus muscle. Boom, boom, boom. And then this is your sternohyoideus muscle. No, sternothyroid? I think that's, oh, sternohyoid, yeah. Okay, so that attaches to the top of the sternum. All right, so you see how those two go across that throat latch, right? Now, I had to come inside and do some more research because I was like, I feel like I'm missing it. And then I thought to myself, the brachiocephalicus, I wanted to look into that, right? So the brachial, let me show you this photo here. Oh, yeah, Jenny, I remember that. That was crazy. Mac had the same thing happen. Yeah, that was cool. I remember that. Oops, somebody's trying to get in. Okay, so let's talk about the brachiocephalicus because I, for some reason, only thought that the origin was the wing of the atlas. Okay, and then some of the transverse process of the cervical vertebra. But when I looked it up, the origin is actually the mastoid process of the temporal bone and the occiput. So check out, here's a photo for you. Let's see if my camera, there, do you see it? Look at that. Look at that muscle. That muscle goes right there, right where we had our issue. Okay, where's my pointer? Right there.
You can
Was
plug
the
in on the
area
other side of the bed and
of
have
the
more
issue.
room.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
You look at
so we have to consider that as one of the muscles that was a problem. This bad boy right here. Okay, so that's your brachiocephalicus. And then, ooh, it might be on the next video. I think it is. So I won't talk about it. But I released the brachiocephalicus. What's cool about the brachiocephalicus is that it has two muscle bellies. Very unique. So there's one muscle belly right here. And there's one muscle belly between these two small points, okay, because it goes over that joint. So there's one right in the middle right there. It's a very small one. But this is the main muscle belly, but there's two muscle bellies on this particular muscle. Okay, so that's your brachio. We love a good brachio. And then look at this bad boy, the sternocephalicus. The manubrium of the sternum is the insertion point. What? Or the origin point. So remember, origin point is like your base point. And then the insertion point is kind of where it goes out into the body and inserts. So if you want to think of like the 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 structure's base, right? The structure's foundation, that would be the origin point of the muscle. And then wherever it goes out, normally that's the part that moves, not always, but normally that's the part that moves. So the insertion moves the part of the body that the muscle exists for. Okay. So what's interesting about the sternocephalicus is that the origin is here, right here. It's at the sternum. And then the insertion is here. So that muscle starts here and goes upward. Most muscles start and then go like outward. Okay. So starts there, ends there. Okay. This is the sternocephalicus. So the origin is the manubrium of the sternum, and the insertion, where it inserts in, is the caudal rim of the ramus of the mandible, or the mastoid process, okay? And the mastoid process. So that big jaw there, that big jawbone, that's where it inserts, that whole area, okay? So it's probably more likely these two, isn't it? Than the omohyoides and sternohyoides, because as you notice, the omohyoides and sternohyoides were lower, and I was up higher. Okay. And what's cool about, so think about this. What's the action? Bilateral flexion of the neck. Georgia couldn't flex her neck. Okay. And unilateral lateral flexion. Okay. So chin to chest and then lateral flexion. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then did I find something else? I had to kind of go through my, nope, that's not it.
Erin, was she sensitive in her pectoral area? Like, did you have
Nope.
to, she didn't show any sensitivity there. Okay.
Nope. Nope. Um, with her, she just goes, that's how I know. That's how I know. And then also the dead giveaway to me was that pushing against my hand. That was so weird because I wasn't doing anything. And she was just like, ah, okay. Any questions on that part? We have a second part of this because remember I told you that she couldn't flex to the right. So I was still thinking that. I was still thinking she can't flex to the right. I thought there were two problems. One problem was her jaw's stuck, and the second problem was that she can't flex to the right. She can't flex her body. Okay. So I have a second video for that we'll watch here in a second. Any questions though before we move on?
Okay, so if she can't flex to the right, then she has more tension on the left. It's the opposite, correct? Okay.
Which is right where, I mean, on the left side is where that hole, that stuck muscle was by the jaw. So that tells you that part, why her head was going this way when I was asking it to go this way for the lateral flexion, right? But did you all notice that the lateral flexion did not loosen that up? Because I took her head and I held her neck and I brought her head around and I kind of cranked it. Not only did it not help, she didn't release at all. It didn't help at all. So I had to manually press in that muscle. So this is where I feel like, because there are some modalities that do not like my work. Cranial sacral people don't like what I do a lot of the time because I go after stuff, right? I'm not soft a lot of the time. I will vigorously massage your horse. Okay, and cranial sacral is very quiet. It's very, relaxing. I love it. It's awesome. But cranial sacral is not getting that out, folks. Is it? It's not going to. You're not releasing that muscle with cranial sacral. So the more modalities you know, the better. Now, I'm a big fan of if I were to only be able to choose two, I would say, well, choose two like body work. And I'm going to exclude chiropractic because I really love chiropractic when it's needed. But I would say Masterson method and massage are the best combo. Now, I don't have experience in all modalities, so that's an uneducated opinion, but based on the modalities I have experience in, I would say Masterson method because that meets the quiet work and the very point specific work, and then massage I feel is super important because you can't rely on their body always being able to release itself. They can't do it sometimes. They need you to do it. They need you to manually move the muscles around. Okay, which is a case today in that video. All right. All right, so let's take a look at the next video. And this is the one where I'm thinking, I went on a little rant in this one. But I was thinking, I was still thinking that she needed help with lateral flexion to the right. So let me find it. Hold on. Should be in my photos. Photos. Okay, it's this one. Hey everyone, I have Georgia here and I just got done riding her. And to the left, she was a beautiful banana. And to the right, she was heavy on her right shoulder and her nose was tipped outward. And she wouldn't get off my right leg. Okay, I wanted this and she was like, eh. Okay, so I just freed her jaw and it was actually the omohyoides and sternohyoides, and we'll talk about that some other time. That was interesting. But I want to show you what I'm going to do to take a look at this right side. I think it's the neck because I went to do lateral flexion on her and she was struggling. Okay, so I don't know if you ever try to experiment on yourself, but like for example, when I work out, there's mirrors around, right? And so a lot of times people are like looking at like checking themselves out in the mirrors. I'm looking at like, why does my this is my left shoulder go out and down and it's more pointy, and then why is my right shoulder like roll forward and slope? Okay, so I'm looking at things like that. My right rib cage also collapses a little bit. So also, if I go to turn like this, it's no problem. If I go to turn like this, it's a little harder. Just weird stuff. So if that's how I am, and I focus on trying to be equal, that's also how horses are. They're not equal. They're not symmetrical. Okay. And I think the idea of getting a horse completely balanced and symmetrical, it's a lovely idea, right? Like I want to be balanced and symmetrical. I know that my right leg is longer than my left. Okay. I have a longer stride on my right leg. So my right leg carries more weight than my left. Hey, okay. All these things affect different things. So horses are the same way. Sorry I had to ramble, but sometimes I just think about stuff like that. So does Georgia have a good side and a bad side? Yeah. Does your horse have a good side and a bad side? Yeah, probably. Okay, some horses are more symmetrical than others. Some little Chester's got like a high-low, so he's super funny. But I want to try to help her at least be able to carry herself in a similar manner and have, at the gym, I work on this shoulder going up and back more. up and back, because I want this shoulder to stop rolling forward and down. Okay, so I work on rolling it back and my scapula. So we do things like that with our horses also. So Georgia was falling on her right shoulder, her neck was going to the left, and she had a hard time laterally flexing to the right. So let's work on that. Did I need to say all that? I don't think so. I don't think I did. But it's just interesting. So next time you're at the gym or when you're like, do a circle. You know what I mean? See what you find. It can be as simple as stand straight, look to the left, stand straight, look to the right. This is my left. This side is tighter for me. What side is tighter for you? All right, I want to do that because I obsess a little bit over it. And I have found that I just watched it was a great seminar on, they call it lateralization, and they also call it symmetry, where the speaker was trying to he spoke about, when our horses are uneven, but he was even kind of open to the idea that some horses are equal, and I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. I'm sure some are a lot closer, but I don't think it's possible. But anyways, let's all sit straight for a second. And if you can see yourself see, mine is still if you can see yourself in the thing, just look at your shoulders and see if they're equal. Look at, kind of, some people even have like a little tilt to their head. That's what horses have, that I call it when their head's on crooked. Okay, but if you're sitting straight and you're facing something, turn your head to the right. And what does that feel like? Okay, now turn to the left. Mine is significantly tighter to the left. Does someone raise your hand if you have a side that's tighter? Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, also, for those of you that want to stand up, let's stand up. Okay. And you're just going to stand in one spot and turn to your right. A full circle. Okay. Do it one more time. Turn to your right. Okay. Now turn to your left. Oh, I overspun. And then turn to your left. Okay. Raise your hand if one of those directions was easier. Mine to the right. I could dance to the right. I'd trip to the left. Okay. So if that's how we are, and we think about ourselves and how we move in our bodies, I'm pretty sure horses are similar. They're going to have a good side and a bad side. And it's not bad. It's just different, right? So I found out when I was taking dancing lessons for our wedding at Arthur Murray that I had one side I did not turn as well. Like I took like extra steps. I was just like, and then to the right, I could just kind of spin around. Okay. So there's a lot of factors that play into how we move, and same with horses. I was talking to the chiropractor about we stand straight up, horses are down on all four. So there's a whole different thing to look at, because then you got diagonals going. Actually, we have diagonals too. I was talking to a PT person. We also suffer from diagonals in our own body, but horses do more, right? Because they're on all fours. All right. So anyways, another ramble you had to sit through. There you go. Let's keep going. I'm just saying. Horses are not equal. We're not equal. Okay? If you are, you're cool. All right, so let me take a look here at Georgia. Oh, what? You still going straight off of that? Oh my gosh, this is trapezoid. No, this is the rhomboid. A little bit of the trapezius. A little bit of trapezius. Do you guys know that I've been saying trapezoid instead of trapezius for probably, I don't know, 8 years? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Not really. Ooh, look at that reaction. Not really. That was a lot. It doesn't matter what you call the muscle if you know where it's at. Watch again. I missed that actually. Okay. I don't know, 8 years. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Not really. I should have caught that. Did y'all see that? All the blinks and she turned to look at me. I should have caught that. It doesn't matter what you call the muscle. That was right here. What it does and how to massage it. You're good. Right? Some people be like, oh my gosh, that's not true. You need another muscle to. I don't know. Never. I know. Could have named it anything. What if it was called a trapezoid? Hmm? What then? What if the trapezoid was called trapezius? Would anything be different about it? No. Just the spelling. Georgia has to sit through my talking constantly. Parent philosophy. Don't get lost in it. It doesn't go anywhere good. Okay, so I'm going to check lateral flexion. I honestly think I just released her jaw. I swear it was her jaw that was doing all of it because it was on the other side. It totally was because she's. My gosh, I'm going to have to attach that other video because this is fine. This is about as good as she normally does. Wow. She's taking big breaths now. Are you okay? Yeah. No, this is totally normal for her. Weird. She's breathing real heavy though. This is weird. Wow. I'll show you the spot that it was. Before this video, I did another video, and I'll attach it to this one. I released her, it wasn't even her jaw. I thought it was her jaw. It was the omohyoides and sternohyoides, I'm pretty sure, and they attach to the back of the hyoid, which is down in here, and it goes up, and then it goes right here. They go right here, and then they go down the neck. And then one of them attaches to the sternum, the sternohyoideus, and the other one attaches to the foreleg, the omohyoideus. And it was stuck right here on the other side. Yeah, that's why she couldn't flex that way. Oh my gosh, crazy. Wow, that is so weird. Okay, no, this is totally normal for her. She couldn't do this 20 minutes ago. All right. Trippy, guys. The more you know, the more you know. The more you can work stuff out, the better. And that was philosophy with Erin Sauer. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Oh, I didn't. Look at her. Are you gonna yawn for us? Pretty she is. Every once in a while, she puts her pretty face on. She goes, give me a treat and let me go. Ugh, flies. You ready to go, Chi Chi? I don't know when I started calling her Chi Chi, but it's Georgia, Georgia Peach, and Chi Chi. I don't know where it came from. Okay, I must not have talked about it in this one. Let me pull up I want to talk about what Stephanie had asked because it's a great question. Let's see. I'll do it. Trying to find a good shot of it. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to pause right here and we'll talk about this. So when people talk about lateral flexion, which is what I'm doing here, you will hear people say, it's kind of a new thing. Have you guys ever noticed that in horse stuff, there will be like these new things, these new ideas that kind of go around and they just like make their little way around. And sometimes they are correct. And then sometimes like the one about the girth length affecting that main vein. And if you have the wrong girth length, blah, 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 blah. But the main post that went around had the vein in the wrong spot. And so then I think it was Rod the saddle guy, Rod Hinkle might be his name. He was like, you guys, this is incorrect. The vein is actually way down here and it is not affected by a girth. I mean, it is kind of, but not the way that they were trying to say it. So there's another one of those going around, and it has to do with how the horse turns for lateral flexion. Okay, so this is my opinion. The saying is when horses turn, they should turn with their ears straight. Okay, so have any of you heard that? Their ears should be straight on top of their head. So they should turn like this. Their ears should not be crooked. Okay, so, and you can see George's ears here, right? They're crooked. So, and we've talked about this in a different one. Ooh, if I had that photo again, that'd be good. But the truth is, they should be able to do both. And if they can't do one of them, that's where the restriction is. Okay? So if a horse turns like this and their ears stay straight, that's great. But if they can't turn like this, then that means that they have muscles that are too tight. So obviously Georgia can do this really easily. So she does not have tight muscles. Now, if you were to say doing this move, now, if I was trying to get her to turn with her ears level, what part of the neck would you think is restricted on her that's making it so she can't do that? Because this is kind of like leading to a corkscrew, right? This is on its way to a corkscrew. It's not quite a corkscrew, but it's pretty close. So where would you think that it's restricted? Yeah, but it does help when you do it, Leanne. Yeah, exactly, Jennifer. Yep, upper. Okay. So different areas that are saying this area right here is what's going to be tight, right there. Because it's like, no, we're not going to do that. And then possibly some of this here too. Okay, so that's too tight right there. So my answer to that is they should be able to do both. And this is my kind of my philosophy on everything that I do with body work. If they can't move in a certain direction that is physically able, you know, physically available by their body, based off the way that it's made, can move like this and like this. So if they can't do one of those, something is restricting it. That's a restricted range of motion. So I always look for where that's restricted. So do you guys remember the video of Nancy Ackerman and the horse she was working on, where I had her reach up and hold the kind of the mane at the top of the head to do lateral flexion because he kept corkscrewing, and she would bring him around and he'd corkscrew. So I said, grab a hold of the head and just slightly bring it around and then see what happens. And she fixed it that way. That's one. Yeah, Lynn. Yeah, that's one way I fix it. Okay. And then if they turn like this, but they're stiff here, it's under here. They can't, that's where it's at. Okay. So if they can't do that, it's down here. If they can't do this, it's up here. Okay. I do the same thing with leg range of motion. Think about what am I doing with leg range of motion? If I pick a leg up and I bring it to 90 degrees and I'm standing in front of the horse facing back, okay, and I bring the knee kind of to my pelvis, and they can't bring their knee up to 90 degrees, that's tricep. If their leg pulls, you know, I always use the pectoral as an example because it's easy to do on us because we're opposite joint wise. But if I bring the leg forward and the leg pulls across the body, what muscle is it? Whatever muscle is right here, because it's tight. So if I grab this part of my shirt and I grab this part of my shirt and I make this tight, okay? When I bring that leg forward, it's not going to go out. That's stuck. Okay. It can definitely come forward because if it was restricted, the restricted would be back here. Okay. So if this is pulling across like this, the leg's going to go across the body. So what do I need to do? Reach up in the armpit, grab it, loosen it up, or I could bring the leg outward to loosen it up, but I like to grab onto that pectoral. This is our pectoral also. You can feel it. So if you ever get tight, it's because you were doing bench press right there. It's that muscle. Okay. Or if a horse cannot bring their leg back or it's restricted, it's going to be whatever muscles are in the front of their shoulder. So I'm doing this all the time when I'm working on horses. I'm going, what, based off the way they're built, they should be able to do with this joint or this leg or this part of their body. They should be able to do these movements in one form or fashion. And if they can't do one of them, where is that restricted? And you really see me do this a lot with leg range of motion. Okay, does that make sense? Push and pull idea in science, exactly. That's exactly it. Yep. Okay. Any questions on anything? That was kind of, yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
I don't have a question, but just a comment. I just want to tell you how amazing this was for me.
You like it? Okay,
Thank
good.
you for how you arranged this tonight. I have learned so much and how to
Okay, cool.
think my way through this as I'm doing this work. Thank you.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, I can nerd out on things. Like this blew my mind when this happened. That I was just like, I can't believe that was the spot. And that's what I love massage for. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. This is insane how much we still don't know anything. Do you know what I mean? We still don't know what we're doing. And I'm a firm believer in that philosophy. It's like we do not know what we're doing, but we're doing the best we can. And we're doing the best we can for our horses. And so I want people to have that attitude because one, you do not need to know everything before you start working on your horse. You are equipped with everything you need to start doing little stuff like this and figuring stuff out and asking questions. And the more you do that, the better. But yeah, I work on horses still, and I still get blown away at just how cool massage is. I just get blown away by it. It's real fun. Yeah, Stephanie.
So when in the second video, on the back, you said you missed something. Are you gonna go back and video that one for us?
What
Remember?
what did I say?
Remember you said that you missed that reaction from her when she kind of turned around when you were
Oh
massaging?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I should go look, huh?
That'll be interesting to see if,
Yeah, see if it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a pretty big reaction. She doesn't normally do that.
Mhm.
She normally stands real quiet, and then she like turned and like blinked a bunch and like looked at me, and I totally didn't see it. This is another example of why videotaping, yeah, Stephanie, is so cool because you will miss stuff. Like half the time your face is turning the other direction. So if you can go back and look at it and be like, "Oh, look at what I missed." It's okay. Now you got something to go back and check. So that's kind of cool. Linda, what you got?
I want to know if you've ridden her since then.
I have not.
Mhm.
I was supposed to go on a full day trail ride on Thursday, so we'll see. I'll ride her before then though. But I could tell just based off of the lateral flexion, it's gonna be fixed. Every time she has big reactions like that, it's fixed.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'll let everybody know how she did.
Good.
Anything else? All right, cool. One final thing. This week, oh, actually, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Hannah made these cool jiggle jiggle signs for me. They're all different. Those I literally just picked it the same. Okay, so look at this one. These are all different. So I had them made a little bit smaller so that they can fit in an envelope. So we'll start doing those, but they're so cool. Look, here's a sassy one. Sassy. if you like cheetah print. But she made these, and then I think I have a weird thing with green. I don't know why I like it so much, but like especially the chartreuse color. So yeah, she made those. So I'll have those available. Um, I'm thinking of getting, you know that shirt I was wearing in that, the just Elite Equine Massage? That shirt gets a lot of attention. I'm going to be talking about, this is a good segue. Oh, you won't need to buy one, Jenny. Um, uh, oh yeah, so that shirt gets a lot of attention, which leads me into I am starting business building for equine owners, equine business owners. We are going to be starting it soon. So the cutoff is going to be this Friday. If you have some sort of equine business, and you need help building it, it's called Startup to Stable. It is going to be focused on three things: building your local, building your local business, okay? Starting a speaking business like presentations or speaking gigs or clinics, okay? And sometimes clinics don't fit in with what you do, so I have kind of the speaking gigs or the educational speaking opportunities. That's the second one. And then the third one is building an online business. There is going to be a very common thread throughout the entire 3 week, it's a 4 week series, and it's going to be how to do all those things with integrity. Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of BS marketing out there that says you can build, get 10,000 followers in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months. No, that's a lie, unless you buy them, okay? And any followers that are bought are worthless because they don't care about what you're doing, okay? So that's like an online lie. Or they'll be like, make $10,000 in 3 months. That's also a lie unless you spend $25,000. Okay, so everything that I have done has been done for free. It's called organic. I did not pay for anyone. I did not pay for a single follower. I did not pay for any clinics. I did not, anything like that. So I'm teaching people that have equine businesses, and I've actually opened it up to a couple just small businesses, so it doesn't need to be an equine business. But for those people, they got to reach out to me so I know if I can help or not. And that's called Startup to Stable. It's going to be starting in about 2 weeks, but the cutoff is this Friday. So if that's something that's interesting to you, let me know, and I'll send you some information on it. But it's going to be cool because starting your own business, will I offer it again in the future? Probably. Probably. I'm pretty excited because I've been taking a lot of notes lately, and I just have like a ton of information because I've done it all, my own, by myself. So I have a lot of information for it. But that's available. If you have questions, just message me. And that's cutoff's done on Friday. But we have a pretty cool group of people that are doing that. It's going to be fun. Okay? All right. That's it. That's all I got. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye. Thanks, Lynn.